Live today with Luke Wood, IFBB Pro Champion. He's been the highest placed Australian bodybuilder in our first two pro shows, and he's massive. It's in the off season now. We're going to put Luke through a back workout and you can see how he trains. How are you, big fella?
Good, thanks, Tony. Very well.
Down from Sydney. You're training now for the 2004 Grand Prix. The viewers are going to want to know, what are you weighing when you look like this, Luke?
130 kilos.
130 kilos. Not a bad effort, mate. Can you still lift weights?
Oh, I'll have a go.
All right. So we're here with Luke and his neck, and we're going to get stuck into it, folks. Let's go. Luke, we're going to start off with a lat pull down. And everything with this exercise, as usual, is about form. You'll see as Luke does the pull down, he arches his back, he pulls it down high on his chest, and they're the most important things. So you see there's a distinct arch in the back. A lot of people round their back off the wrong way, and therefore you don't flex your lats. You'll see that when he gets to the top of the movement, he straightens his arms right out, almost dislocates at the top, and it's a full range of motion when you do it like this. You give it a good pull from the top, concentrate on the effort at the top of the movement. As I say, arch your back, pull it nice and high on your chest. That's about as good as it gets. We're here with Luke doing a Panata pull down with a wide grip. Now, some of the machines that are available today, the plate loaded machines, really allow you to isolate your back. Most important thing here is you'll see that when Luke gets to the top of the movement, he stretches out and pauses, and when he gets to the bottom, he squeezes with his back arched again. You'll see around here that the back is nicely arched at the bottom of the movement, which allows the lats to really flex. You give it a good wallop from the top and arch your back, stick your chest out, and most importantly, see, nice and locked out at the top of the movement so you get a full range of motion. Now we move into a close grip pull down. You can do this with a cable machine or once again with a plate loaded machine. Just changes the angle, keeps the wrist straight next to your body and allows you to pull through a little bit further than what you can with a wide grip. You see, once again, Luke has a good stretch at the top and a good arch at the bottom of the movement. And you'll feel that right through the middle of his back, whereas the wide grip one you'll feel more with your outer lats. Moving on with another apparatus. This one is to keep Luke's posture good. You'll see that his back's actually sitting up straight with this one. He's not leaning back and swinging like some of the others. He's pulling his elbows straight down, and this works the outer and upper part of the lat. He'll do a lat spread after this exercise and be as pumped as you can get because it's a very strict movement. You don't use the rest of your body for momentum. This is just a total isolation movement for the upper lats, more for the advanced person, but certainly by trying to feel and look for different angles is how you develop the muscle from every angle possible. Fantastic, Luke. Just while you stand there, do a lat spread from the back. And we're talking about working this part of the muscle here. And you see it's actually hanging right out of his singlet, and that'll be the widest back in Australia right now, folks. Now we move on to an arc back machine. This is a very unusual machine, and it hits a lat once again in the upper outer region. You'll see when Luke gets to the top of the movement, his lats are flaring right out, and he's pulling in a circular motion, which is a more true to form way that the lats function. So this is following the biomechanics of the body, and once again a bit of an advanced exercise, but you can certainly see it working the big fella. The veins are popping out, the muscles are full of blood, and this is what it's all about on Max's Muscle TV. This movement's another advanced movement, being a chest supported row. This really isolates your lower and middle back. You look straight ahead, you pull it in, flare your elbows out, and with this machine it actually pulls the weight out wider as you pull it back. Once again, Luke's stretching right out at the front. He's got a nice arch in his back and he's getting a full range of motion. You'll see that Luke's shoulder's travelling when he goes forward. The actual shoulder's moving from here right back to here. So it's about a 20-25 centimetre movement. Now the other important thing is that he pauses at the end of the movement and squeezes the muscle that he's working. A lot of people just bounce their way through it and never ever feel their lats. You'll see every muscle in Luke's back flexing as he holds and squeezes a weight. With all your back movements, you've got to get your shoulders to rotate back. And if you have a look here, Luke's shoulder actually moves from here right back to here. So it's moving about 25 centimetres during the motion. If you're not rolling your shoulders back when you're doing your rowing, you're doing it all wrong. Most gyms in the world have a seated row. The important thing is that you've got to stretch all the way at the start of the movement, let yourself all the way out, and as you come back, your shoulders got to rotate back and you've got to arch. So you'll see here, if you have trouble with these, get your training partner to put his fist or knee in the middle of your back and pull your shoulders right back around it. It's all about getting that range of motion and making your shoulders travel back. If your shoulders aren't travelling, your arms are doing all the work and not your lats. You'll see Luke starts there where the weights are almost on the stack, pull it in, you'll see his shoulder travelling right back. The thing we've got to watch here is how far this shoulder travels when he pulls the weight back. He's actually rotating his whole upper back, he's getting a good arch here. Once again, you've got to arch over that imaginary fist or knee, you've got to get the shoulders back further than the lats. If you're doing that, then you're engaging your whole back, and that's what it's all about. One of our favourite pieces of back equipment is the hammer strength pullover machine. It was also one of Dorian Yates' favourite machines, 7-time Mr Olympia. You'll see here that Luke's opened right up, his elbows are back as far as they can get, and it really opens the lats up and gives you a good stretch. Therefore, starting you in the right position, giving you a full range of motion. At this point, you'll see his chest is right up under his chin, and if you look through here, you'll see that there's air. There we go. There's got to be air in your lower back. You've got to have that arch in your lower back. And if you don't have that, you're not flexing your back. You're using your arms, your forearms and your chest. So once again, when you get to the bottom of the movement, you want that nice curved arch at the bottom of the spine. You have a good stretch at the top, and you hold at the bottom and give it a squeeze with your chest up and your back arch. Well done, Luke. Max's Muscle TV, we're now doing hyperextensions. Great way to finish your back off. I'm going to show you a technique you may not have seen. As Luke comes up, he pulls his arms up as if he's doing a bent over row. He gets his elbows up nice and high. The reason we do that is not just to work the lower back muscles, but to work all these muscles through the middle of the back and to save from pulling up too high. A lot of people will do these, they get their head right up in the air and it's actually bad for their lower back. This way he's working his glutes, his lower back and his whole middle back. Just come up and squeeze at the top, Luke. We'll do 2 more of those. And when you come up and squeeze your backside, your lower back and pull your elbows up high to get the rest of your back involved. That's a hyperextension, Max's style, and we guarantee they're going to work.